y'all, welcome to my first impressions for your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Finally, after years and years and years of development hell, because you guys know this show got announced years and years ago. I think originally it was supposed to be like a prequel series to, a prequel series to Spider-Man Homecoming and Civil War, what Peter was doing, before he met Tony. But then I think, or that was at least some of the rumors. I don't know if it ever was that originally, but eventually that got morphed into like this MCU adjacent sort of thing with Norman Osborn and all this other stuff, to where it's in its own sort of continuity, not connected to the MCU, but probably some of the events did happen here that happened to the MCU. Also, one thing I did think was kind of cool was that the first episode ends kind of like basically redoing his intro into the MCU. Like they kind of like redo it kind of thing, where we see him find the DVD player, he has his music, he has his earbuds on as he walks back home, and of course meets with Norman, that was originally Tony Stark in Civil War, which I thought was pretty cool to lead them into each other and kind of lead right into Civil War and this whole thing. I thought that was a nice little touch that they did there for the end of the first episode. But before we jump right into the show itself, which honestly, man, was very good. These first two episodes were great episodes, man. I had a blast watching this show, and I'm pretty sure they mentioned that season that are already in production for season 3. I think so. I assume that means season 2 is already completely finished and done. We're probably gonna get that maybe next year. Maybe it's gonna come out later this year or something, because they already have it finished or whatever. Whatever the case may be. But before we jump right in, man, I want to talk about something real quick that is kind of, I think it's kind of dumb, like this controversy, which it really isn't, because I don't think this should be considered controversy with the show, is with a comment that the guy who was playing Spider-Man, Hudson Thams, if I pronounce that right, who you guys know voiced Peter in What If as well, and basically, he's supposed to be Tom Holland's voice match for MCU projects when, Tom doesn't do it for cartoons and whatnot. He mentioned, yes, I believe it was yesterday. It might have been, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was yesterday. Mentioned, right the day before the show was about to start airing, that his biggest fear with the show that he thought was going to be annoying and boring. That's literally all he ever said. Now, I did mean to go back and read the article just to see, if he meant it, if there was any missing, he meant in a specific point of production, did he find, when he first found the show was happening and they were getting started, was he worried about that? Was this as he was working on voicing the show? Man, I don't know where in the production's pipeline did he kind of have that fear when he thought the show was going to be annoying and woke. But Jesus Christ, man, everyone has been on this dude's ass. They've been calling for the dude's job. It's ridiculous over this comment. It'd be one thing if he went on some massive racist rant on Twitter. Then okay, fine. Then you know what? Fair enough, the point. But literally, he didn't even say the show is woke or the show was bad. He just said that was a fear he had about the show, was that was gonna be annoying way, and yet everyone's treating him like he's an incel, or they're acting like the dude, they act like he went on some racist rant on Twitter or something. Very bizarre. Like I said, people are calling for the kid's job. They want him to get recast for this shit, which is fucking absurd. And then today, the showrunner for the show basically said hey, that the kid got no heat. He loves him, and he's sure he misspoke. So get off the kid's ass. This is fucking ridiculous, man. Like I said, I don't know where he had this fear. If this was early on in production, during when it was in development hell, if this was as he was voicing in it or something. I don't know what his fear was. And honestly, if you guys follow me on Twitter, I thought this was kind of funny. I was honestly, real. Because I feel like an actor coming out there when having that kind of fear, I thought that's probably the realest thing an actor's ever said. And I think that's kind of funny. And I feel like that is a valid fear for some projects, man, especially with Marvel. Did they could some Marvel projects, they can have, they can deal with the woke and actually still be really good, while some of them, they're just beating you over the head with their politics, and that's it, there's nothing, they're just, vilifying everyone that isn't their group and whatnot, man, which you can definitely see that a lot with Marvel's comics from that time period, from the 2010s, when they were really pushing the diversity. You can definitely, some of the comics were good, some of them weren't so much, man. Some of them were just kind of white men evil, fuck you. You know what I mean? So I was real. But yeah, man, this whole thing is fucking ridiculous, man. I thought this was a ridiculous situation, man. And yeah, but I want to quickly mention that, guys. I did mean to go back and read the article just to see if there was any additional context that, the headline tweets were mentioning there, man, where he maybe got where in the production's line he had this fear, but I didn't get a chance to today. But yeah, anyway, I want to mention that real quick. Now let's get into the show itself. So the show starts off, like I mentioned before, Hudson Thams, who plays Peter, but we also got Carrie Wild Green, the OG, who you guys know voices Haruko and Furikuri. She's like, the grandma in Don the Don. Tons of iconic anime roles, man. She's an OG. Grace Strong, Eugene Bird, if I was like, of course, you got my main man, Zeno Robinson as Harry. We got Alex Lee as Amadeus Cho. Yes, Asian Hulk Amadeus Cho. I wonder if that means we're going to see him turn into Hulk sometime in this season or any of the future seasons, or we're going to see him turn into a Hulk. That would be kind of interesting. We actually got to see that, man. Kellen Jeff, and many more. And the plot of Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is following Peter's way on his way to becoming a hero. That's literally the plot times Google gives you. But first thing I want to talk about, man, I thought the cast is pretty good, man. Me personally, controversy aside, which, like I said, I don't really call this a controversy, just because like that thing because it was the most nothing bird ever. That everyone was like, making a big deal out of nothing. I thought the whole thing was ridiculous. Hudson, I've always been kind of indifferent towards him. I thought he was fine in What If, and here he's pretty good. I mean, I think he nails the bits of Peter you need to get drunk. He got the awkwardness down and all that, man. He's a fine voice for Peter. Is he one of my favorites? Hell no. If I had to rank him on the Spider-Man totem pole, he would definitely be near the bottom, in my personal opinion. But I thought he was good, man. Definitely with him, this being his show, and he's allowed to be a little bit more free with the character, man, compared to What If, where he has to be like, you are Tom's version of Spider-Man, be Tom. He's good. I think he's a good voice for Spider-Man. Obviously, you guys know me. I've been clamoring, like, get Josh. Josh will be voicing Spidey and everything. I know only Josh. I'm tired of everyone else getting their shots, but not Josh. I'm tired of Josh kind of constantly getting shafted, man, and Yuri taking all the roles. I love Yuri too, but Josh is the go, man. But yeah, I think he's fine, man. I think he's pretty good. For the first 2 episodes, man, he sounded pretty good. Carrie, obviously the OG, man. I loved her, man. She was great. Anime doesn't have a lot of screen time, at least these first 2 episodes, but she was great when the bits we saw of her, man. Zeno is obviously is awesome. Once again, Harry doesn't have a lot of screen time in the first 2 episodes. I think he's only in the first episode. But he was great, man. Alex sounded great as well, man. Which Alex actually sent a tweet where he mentions that how Spider-Man 1 was actually the first American movie he ever saw. And he posted this picture of himself as a kid wearing Spider-Man pajamas, man, which I thought was a nice touch, man. Kellen is great as well, man. As like this symbiote alien that Doctor Strange is fighting in the first episode, which you guys know, if you guys follow me on Twitter, or maybe not. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on video, and previous videos, or on Twitter or not, but I've been fan casting and hoping that Kellen Jeff gets the chance to voice Venom for like years now. So I'm glad he finally got to get that chance. But to be fair, the symbiote doesn't do much. As well as just growls. Kind of hoping we actually got to see the symbiote talk, and we got to hear like a taste of what his Venom voice would be. Unfortunately, no luck on that front, ladies and gentlemen. But he sounded great, man, for the bits that he had in there, man. Hopefully one day I get to see him play Venom, man, because this was awesome for me, man. But yeah. Cast overall I thought was solid, man. Now let's talk about the art, and now let's talk about the animation, which is definitely the big one that everyone's been talking about. Some people like the art style, some people think it's ugly, they hate it. Me personally, I think the art style is good. I mentioned this in my reaction to the trailer, man. I like the art style, man. And now the animation stuff. Now the animation is actually done by an anime studio called by the name of Polygon Pictures. That is the animation studio for this show, man. They've done tons of animes, man. All of them have been 3D. They did the Ajin movies, which I think you can watch on Netflix. The Blom movie, as well as the Godzilla films as well. You go check out their list on Mal. Then they're a 3D exclusive studio, man, and they've actually done a handful of other like Western projects. Like they did Star Wars Resistance, they did the Big Hero 6 series, but they did some Baymax and Mochi shorts that wasn't part of the show, man. And of course, this show as well, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Now they are obviously looking to replicate the look of Steve Ditko's art style kind of thing, make this look like a comic book from the 60s, man. And I think overall they succeed in that front. It does look like a comic book come to life, man. I really did the art style. Is it as good as Spider-Verse? Fuck no. But then again, I don't think it's really even fair to compare either of these two projects. But it is trying to look like comic book, and I think it succeeds in that. And overall, I thought the animation is very good, man. When we actually get to see Spider-Man swinging, and you see the camera just like, one take where the camera just panning around Spidey as he's swinging around, man, it looks fantastic. The fights look great as well, man. There are definitely some other times where there isn't really much action going on, where the animation looks a little stiff, I will say, man. But overall, I thought the animation is pretty good, man. I can kind of get why some people might not dig this art style because it is fully CG. It definitely isn't the best, and it's definitely not the best thing out there, man, we've seen from 3D animation, especially considering the Spider-Verse movies. Those also kind of go for the comic book extra, but obviously that one looks way better. So I can definitely understand why some people might not be into this art style, man. I can definitely see why. But personally, I really dig it, man. I enjoy it. I don't think it's like terrible. Like something like I remember Chidi posted a video that's like hentai is better animated than this shit, and I'm like, bro, come on, calm down. It's not that bad. I love you, bro, but Jesus Christ, come on, bro. But yeah, art and animation I thought was pretty good. I really like the art style for the show, man. I think it looks pretty good. With the art, I think the art style and the animation overall is pretty good. For 3D animation, I think this is pretty good. But yeah, so that's great, man. I liked how they differentiate this from the MCU from basically a lot of interpretations of Spider-Man. Like one, Peter is like a nerd and he has a glide, but he keeps on the entire thing. But this time he isn't relentlessly bullied by everyone. He's actually cool with the jocks this time, man. In fact, the quarterback of them is like Peter's science partner, and they're cool. He like introduced them to the rest of the team, man. We also get a new character, Nico Maru, who is really good. Who actually, I saw someone make a tweet meant that she was actually supposed to be originally Jessica Jones. They were going to originally have Jessica Jones take her place, but as they went on, they eventually replaced her with Nico, which, on the one hand, I'm kind of annoyed about because I would have liked to see Jessica Jones. On the second hand, man, I don't know how well that would have worked, man. And Nico's such a great character anyway, man, so I'm not too bummed out, but obviously the Marvel Netflix fan in me would have liked to see Jessica Jones, just so we could see Jessica Jones. Hopefully they would have gotten the original actors that played in the Netflix series or Price or Wolf for this, man. That would have been sick, but yeah. So yeah, if you guys didn't know, Nico was actually originally going to be Jessica Jones, apparently early on in production. Norman is obviously taking on the role of Tony Stark in this universe for the show, man. We have a bunch of other new characters in it. We have Amadeus Cho, who I think is making his technically his first MCU appearance, man. Which I'm definitely curious to see what they're gonna do him, because as you guys know in the comics, he was Hulk. Asian Hulk, as a lot of people have dubbed him, man, during Marvel's diversity push. I haven't read it in the comics personally, man, but I haven't really heard many people mention Amadeus Cho, so I think either he didn't really do much or people actually kind of liked him. I don't know, man. I haven't really had experience with him, man, but I am curious if we're actually going to see the Hulk in this show, man, and we're going to see Amadeus transform. He is in the robotics team, so I don't know how that's going to work with him getting involved with gamma radiation and him turning into the Hulk, unless he already has been exposed to the gamma radiation and he's already, can already Hulk out already. We'll have to wait and see on that, man. But hopefully we get to see Hulk, man. I would like to see Hulk make an appearance, man. That would be sick if we actually got to see Amadeus Cho transform. And I would also just be curious to see how Alex would sound, like what his monster voice for Hulk would sound like that. I'm curious to see how that would work out for Alex, man. But we'll have to wait and see if we ever get to see Amadeus transform into the Hulk. We also get to see some other characters as well, man, which I won't get into because I don't want to get too deep into spoilers, man. But they're pretty cool as well, man. Doctor Strange, like I mentioned, makes an appearance. He is fighting the symbiote in the first episode, man. We see the spider for this time is from the multiverse rather than being like from a field trip or whatnot, man. They seem to also they tease Silk a little bit, because we see the spider that bit Peter. This was also, they released this clip on YouTube like a few days ago, where we see the spider then go on someone else's bag, and then that person takes the bag and goes with them. Now, if you guys remember the comics, how Silk's powers were that she was bit by the same spider as Peter was, and then that's how she got her powers. Well, and also, if you guys have also read those early comics of her when she was introduced from Dan Slott's Reign of Terror, or his run, as some people like to call it, you would know that they also had an uncontrollable desire to fuck each other. Which I always thought was super funny when I found that out, man. And like, now that we know Silk's going to be in Spider-Man 3, a part of me kind of hopes they do it with Miles and Silk. I know they're probably not, but at the same time, I feel that would just be really funny, and you could do some really creative stuff with that, man, with them trying to hide from their parents or something, man. Come on, guys, get creative in there or something, man. There is some laughs you could have with this situation, man. Like, I'm going to say build the whole game around, but if you like do like 1 or 2 missions, man, I think that would be pretty funny. I think people would like that. At least I would. Maybe Twitter would hate it because like sex, I don't know, man, but that's just me. I think that would be funny. Anyway, so yeah, we might be getting Silk later down the road, man. Who knows? We'll see her. But yeah, man, I really like the suit they have in there, which actually, if you actually pay attention to the end credits, it seems they also show us like some previous alternate designs they were planning on using during the pre-production phase, man. Some of those costumes look really good, man. But I like the one they went with, man. Obviously, as we know, guys, the show's been in development hell for years, and you guys know they've already confirmed we're going to be getting Daredevil in this show, man. We're going to be getting the Chameleon, Hammerhead as well. I think some other Spider-Man characters as well are going to be in here as well. Charlie Cox is coming back for Daredevil, man. So I'm really excited to see what they do with these alternate versions of these pre-established characters, man. What they plan on doing, man. But yeah, I think for a show that's been in development hell for so long, man, I actually really enjoyed this one. Especially since I wasn't ever that big on the show, I was like, okay, that's cool, I'll watch it. But yeah, man, if you were someone that's on the fence with it, or you weren't really too too keen on it from the trailers. One, man, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised if you guys actually go through and actually watch it. It's pretty good, man. Oh, and one other thing I forgot to mention is the intro, man. The intro fucking slaps, man. I love it. They remixed the original classic, 60s theme, but add like remixed it, add some rap to it, man. It's really fucking good, man. It's honestly a banger. I was like, oh shit. Okay, I didn't know you rock like that, friend in there with Spider-Man. Okay, I see you. And like, yeah, the song they used for the outro is also really good as well. But the intro, man, goddamn, that song is a banger, bro. I apologize, friend in there. I was not familiar with your game, man. I didn't think y'all would go so hard on the intro. Art style obviously is a bit subjective. Some people like it, some people hate it. I personally really liked it, man. I think it looks good. Animation is pretty good for the fight scenes, man, which I think is where it matters most. Some of the animation for like the non-expo definitely does look a bit stiff in points, man. But overall, man, I think it looked pretty good, man. So yeah, guys, that is my first impressions for Spider-Man, for my friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Obviously, like always, man, I'll be here reviewing the season when it's done, and then whenever season 2 and season 3 drop, I'll release those as well. I'm not too fond on the way they're releasing this, man, because you guys know they're doing this in like release chunk. Like the first week we're getting like today we got 2 episodes. I think next week we're gonna get 3 episodes, and then the following we're gonna get another 3 episodes. I don't know why they're doing this batch reveal instead of just doing them one by one each week. Maybe they don't want to compete with Born Again. Fair enough, because it's going to get bodied by Born Again. Everyone's going to be watching that, myself included. But yeah, man, I overall really like this, man. I thought for the first episode, man, this was a really good show, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Overall, guys, I'm going to give this show an 8 point, these first 2 episodes, rather. I'm going to give it 8.5 out of 10, guys. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me so you feel like it. Links subscribe below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.
You